Never mind your liver, get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gino Spot Tuesday. It's Tuesday, and it's been a beautiful day, absolutely beautiful day. It's PE showing off today, and we had a little trip down to the beachfront. It was fantastic down there as well. Saw some whale, a whale in the ocean with dolphins jumping around it like it was like It was insane, absolutely beautiful. PE can really show off when it wants to. How's it, Brian Wilkinson? Good evening to you. Indeed. We hope that you've got a little drink in your hand. Let us know. People online, please let us know where you're watching from, what you're watching, what you're drinking, and we can have a little chat in the comments as well. Send in the comments because you know what it's like. Indeed. Ivan Newman, hello from East London. Oos-London. Hoe gaan het daar in Oos-London? Ivan Newman, is it looking good there? We're sending you some good weather. It's coming up the coast. I don't know, is it still raining there? Because it was beautiful here today. And thank you, of course, to our sponsors, Fitch & Leeds and SPAR. And, of course, our internet provider, Amobia, who's been fantastic as well. And we've had a wonderful run this last little while. We had, of course, Andre Erasmus last week, and it was great. It was great. If you haven't seen that one, they are all available. All the Gino spots, previous Gino spots, are all available on the Gino Spot YouTube site, which is the best one. Hello, Finland. Finland Pitties in the house, indeed. Hello, Gino. Hello, lekker. We had the good weather today. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that, Ivan. Man, it's been beautiful. And I see Denzel Naidu on Denzel. Hello, Denzel. Nice to see you as well. All right, so tell me what you're drinking. Tell me where you're watching from, and just send me a message, and I'll sing it on the bottom here because we're going to do our little song. Let's do it. Let's do a little song here, ladies and gentlemen. Get into Gino Spot today on Tuesday. And, of course, we have Angelo Swartz on in a short while. Well, my friends, the time has come to raise the roof and have some fun. Wendy Tompkin Thompson says hello, 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 hello. And Nicole Becker says hello too. She sends away from Gladbeck. So cool me, Amodali, how's it? Oh, and Linda van der Westhuizen, all the way from Queenstown, Komani, I think it's called. That's right, they got a stadium all night long, all night, all night. Neil Mouton. Love the new hair, that's right, Neil. I got it cut today. Yvette Vogels, she's selling 2 tops. Once you get started, you can't slow down. Oh. Yanni Papa said fiddling around. Ron Klingrat, that's a strange name. He says, be gentle with Angelo. He'll watch it. That's okay. Woo, baby. All right. Somebody just said, there's some words he sings here. I don't know what. Must be Swahili. Jambola. Somebody just said, oh, Jumbo, Jumbo. Whoa, yeah. There's gonna be a party all night long. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, cause Facebook seems on the blink most of the time these days. They're dancing in the street all night long. Yeah. Camilla Ellis says, where's my chin? Here it is. my drink in my hand. Yeah! It's nice to see people from all over the Eastern Cape checking things out, man. That is so cool. And even from, is it Komani? Is Queenstown Komani now? I can't remember the name now. But I know there's indeed a party tonight. We're going to have a party tonight because we have Angelo Swartz on, who heads up the Eastern Cape SPAR group. Isn't that fantastic? Gino is Klop Disselboom. Jeroen Broom, Klop Disselboom. I don't know what would that the Klop Disselboom. Tell me what that is. I don't know. Translate for me. I don't know. Ruan's on a mission tonight. Thank you, Ruan, indeed. And I hope you've got a drink as well. It sounds like you have. It sounds like you have indeed. All right. I've just got to do a little bit of advertising as well for the nurses run that is on very soon. In fact, it's coming on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. What is it? Saturday. It's Saturday, indeed, on Saturday. So check it out. Check out the nurses run.
It's time again for the night run to honor healthcare workers. This 7-kilometer family-friendly race is open to everyone, not only healthcare workers, with the proceeds raised going towards bursaries for student nurses. Now in its 3rd year, the race has grown to become the Night Run series and will be run in Cape Town, Joburg, Mapega, Pretoria and Durban, happening every Saturday night during October 2021. The entry fee is 100 Rand per person and 50 Rand for children under 12. The first 2,000 entrants in each city will receive 2 super free gifts at registration. In the event of COVID restrictions, the race will still take place as a virtual event or from designated Run Walk for Life club venues. So what are you waiting for? Enter today by simply visiting theexceptionalnurse.org.za. The Night Run to Honor Healthcare Workers is brought to you by the Exceptional Nurse Campaign in partnership with the Afrocentric Group, Adcock Ingram and Wintergreen, and supported by Run Walk for Life.
Indeed, and a marvelous race it is, and supporting for nurses because they need nurses. They need nurses, and they're trying to explain that nursing is actually it's a vocation, and it pays pretty well. You'd be surprised. It'd be fantastic if you become a nurse. So, I'm going to try and convince Angelo tonight to also become a nurse. There we go. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, on a Tuesday, we always have What You're Watching because we need to be told what to have a look out for on Netflix. And with Darren Fuller, it's normally horror, blood and guts and Christmas. So let's see what Darren has to say.
So hello everyone. Today I'm going to be speaking about one of my absolute favorite authors, Edgar Allan Poe, considering that he is the king of the macabre and incidentally he died on October 7th. So it just seems like the right time. Alright, so guys, Edgar Allan Poe was born in about 1809 and he died, as I said, he died when he was only 40 years old. It was very mysterious. He died, basically, he was found wandering the streets in clothes that were not his own. He was delirious, he was crazy. And then he died October 7th, a few days later in the hospital. It was as mysterious as his writing. The last thing he said was Reynolds. Nobody ever figured out who Reynolds was, what had happened to him. There were many rumors. There was, he was very fond of his drink, alcoholism, etc., but also cooping, which apparently is when you take a drunkard, dress them in different clothes, and get them to vote for one person again and again and again. Nevertheless, so that Edgar Allan Poe. Guys, Edgar Allan Poe is freaking awesome. He created the macabre. He is basically how the detective genre started. He wrote amazing short stories. The Fall of the House of Usher, The Telltale Heart, I mean, the beating under the heart beating under the floorboards. The gold bug, which was actually, it had cryptography in it. He was an amazing author. And I don't think anyone could possibly not know The Raven, which was one of his first poems. It was basically the first thing that made him famous. So Edgar Allan Poe despite being freaking awesome and amazing, unfortunately died very young, unappreciated, very tragic. Did also marry his 13-year-old cousin. I'm going to say it was a different time back then. But a lot of people say that a lot of his poems following that, everything was basically Lenore, him obviously being devastated by his cousin / wife's death. Anyway, so guys, Edgar Allan Poe has inspired and influenced so many people. Writers, obviously Stephen King would not exist. Jules Verne, somewhat he influenced Lovecraft. He influenced so many amazing people. And obviously that eventually did become part of film. So guys, Vincent Price, if you don't know who Vincent Price is, so Vincent Price was an actor. He died in 1993. His last role, as far as I know, was actually the inventor in Edward Scissorhands. But in any case, Vincent Prince was to Edgar Allan Poe like what Johnny Depp is to Tim Burton. Tim Burton himself had a short film called Vincent, which was inspired by Vincent Price / Edgar Allan Poe, which is an amazing short animated film. Watch it. There is The Raven with John Cusack, which is literally about Edgar Allan Poe. John Cusack is Edgar Allan Poe in the film. It's not a true to life story, but it's fantastic. It has elements from all of his books. It has mystery. It's fantastic. So guys, basically Premature Burial, also one of his short stories. Being buried alive, being buried behind a wall. Edgar created this all. He created that fear for us. So The Crow, with my guy, Brandon Lee. So The Crow, that was inspired by The Raven. The Lighthouse was inspired by Edgar Allan Poe, film with, Willem Dafoe. Basically two guys, they chill in a lighthouse and eventually go crazy. Anyway, that's also inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. Vincent Price was in 1,000 films of Edgar Allan Poe's, like The Telltale Heart, The Pit and the Pendulum. The Pit and the Pendulum is also inspiration for one of the torture devices in Saw. And if you haven't watched Altered Carbon, which you should, which is a science fiction show set in a present where people can have skins. So if you have enough money, if there's anything wrong with you, you can just buy a new skin. I mean, I could buy Jennifer Garner's skin. I could look amazing. So in that series, there's a virtual hotel called the Ravenwood that is run by a virtual Edgar Allan Poe, which is just amazing. It's so good. So guys, I mean, the Beatles, I'm the Walrus, the lyrics are, see them kicking Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe is on Sgt. Pepper and the Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover. Edgar Allan Poe is just freaking fantastic, guys. He's freaking fantastic. So he's inspired so many things, so many films, so much music, and also, which I'm so excited about, I've just heard that Mike Flanagan, the genius behind my Midnight Mass Obsession and Haunting of Hill House, etc., is actually going to do an 8-episode series based on the fall of the House of Usher. So guys, look, I'm not entirely sure if you have read Edgar Allan Poe. If you haven't, generally I would say watch films. You don't necessarily have to do the reading material. But guys, I'm being a teacher right now and I'm telling you, go and read Edgar Allan Poe, because he is amazing. His short stories are so relatable. I mean, they're readable, like compared to Lovecraft can be a little bit difficult to, read in modern times. But Poe is so readable. It's so mysterious, not relatable in that obviously you don't want to be prematurely buried and you don't want to have, murdered someone and then have their, heart beating under your floorboards. If you do, that's your own business. But guys, Edgar Allan Poe, he's just a fantastic writer. He's just amazing. His writing skills were fantastic. Unfortunately, he wasn't too popular a person, and as thus he died pretty penniless in a gutter. But Edgar Allan Poe is amazing, and anything that's inspired by his writing is macabre, it's fantastic, it's marvelous. And guys, it is October, it is Halloween, so please go out and read some Edgar Allan Poe. Thank you, as always, for listening, and go out there and don't kill someone and put their heart under the floorboards.
Ta-da! There's your introduction.
Thanks, Gino.
You
On
can,
fire.
You're in fire. It's explosion, and exploding onto the scene is Angelo Swartz. It's like
I think that's the first time that would have ever been said about me.
you're exploding onto the
Yeah.
scene. But Angelo, it's fantastic to have you in the studio. I know that this kind of thing is just not your scene. I know that. I do realize that.
You do. I think I've told you that so many times
yes.
over the years. So yeah, definitely not my thing. But anyway,
And-
yeah.
and
I was going to say thank you, but now people know how I really feel.
I know. I had to drag him here, kicking and screaming, people. You know, that's
No,
all
you had to conkle with my
I
secretary.
do work.
essentially.
Tops, Rebecca is fantastic. Let me tell you, she's amazing. She organized. She broke it to you slowly. She
No, she didn't actually.
does it?
I literally got into the office this morning and said, "Well, there's something on my calendar at 6." She goes, "Yeah, are you going to Gino?"
Aren't you lucky?
I am.
Yeah, no. And I mean, Gino Spot, of course, I remember when we came to you, I think it was literally a little month or two after lockdown, because we'd started this show. And you jumped in with SPAR, and we were most grateful that you did.
You want to tell the story about changing the name?
From Gino Spot.
Well, what was it prior to that?
I can't remember. I don't. Oh well, I don't know. I don't know that what the meaning of that other way of saying it is. You know?
Well, Gino, you came into my office with this great proposal.
Yes.
We got to the name. He said, "Well, we're going to do the show, and we're going to call it
G
Spot." and he'd somehow missed that might be an issue.
Might be an issue with a corporate sponsor.
Luckily, we agreed on the name.
That was
so-
fine. Gino's Spot is okay for those people that it would go over their head if they offended by it. Oh, but Angelo, thank you for coming in now, because like I said, when it's Angelo's turn to do a speech at the at the AGMs, the SPAR functions, it's the GM of the entire Eastern Cape. You have to do these things, you have to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
And so you're forced.
Yeah, it's the one part of the job I don't really like, but anyway.
I know, the spotlight. But I mean, as far as SPAR goes, let's do it at the moment. SPAR are things picking up for the retail? Are they doing okay?
Yeah, look, we're doing relatively well. I think it's been a very unpredictable time. So results have been kind of up and down.
Okay.
It depends very much on what's happening with the lockdown levels.
Yes,
So
yes.
at the moment, we're all very happy.
Okay,
well,
good.
Well, people are much happier on weekends.
Yes.
Yes. Because Tops is open.
Tops is open again, I know. That's insane.
But yeah, overall business has been good. We can't complain. We've been very fortunate in the grocery business. So
I mean, I was just saying, in retail in general, I think, people have to get out and buy food and veggies and stuff. They have to have their food, and SPAR and the other retailers are out there ready to take the business.
Yeah, look, we've been fortunate, as I say. I think being in food is a safe business. People have to eat.
Yes.
So that's a great thing, and we've had a really unpredictable spin-off in our Build It business. So people spending more time at home,
doing DIY,
doing a lot more DIY. It's been good for our building materials business. So overall we've been very fortunate.
Okay, that's good. And obviously, Tops has probably been a bit up and down like that.
Yeah, Tops has been very up and down. It's been a very difficult. When businesses open, we do well. But obviously, it's not completely in our control.
Yeah. And then the recent riots and that in KZN, was it quite a big smack for you guys? Did you guys?
As a group being based in KZN, so our head office is up in Durban, so it was quite an emotional thing for the group. We were very lucky in that our distribution centres, we've got 2 big distribution centres in KZN, in fact 3, if I count the Build It one, were untouched. Unfortunately, though, we had somewhere around 160, 170 stores affected.
Okay.
And yeah, we're very lucky to have the majority of them back online. So I think as of last week we had something like 120 of the 100. I think call it 160 stores completely back in training. And we'll have another 20 online before the end of the year.
Okay.
And the balance of stores, unfortunately, are shopping centres that burnt down or long-term rebuild.
So I mean, those poor guys. I mean, I don't know what sort of insurance would be able to help them out or do, but you know, that is just we can predict something like that.
Look, I think luckily, given South Africa's past and the social unrest coming into democracy, dealing with social unrest was something high on government's agenda. So they created an independent insurance company called Sasria. So the majority of the physical damage will be covered through Sasria, which is not actually most businesses would be covered by that.
Yes.
Via the insurance company. But Sasria has done well. So that hasn't really been.
Well,
too
I bet
much.
you they're not going to complain about paying their Sasria fees now. Because I bet you they were bitching and moaning before.
As they always do.
Because I mean, just having a peek into retail, with me doing the shows for the retailers all over the place, you get a peek into this, and it's such a complex business, man. Angelo, I have total respect to the guys, because the stock that's out there as well. That when I saw the writing, the thing, and you just think of all that stock that's out there that can just disappear, and there's so much money in there.
Look, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't, because one can talk about business, and it certainly affected our business. So what needs to be respected is what, firstly, our entrepreneurs and our staff went through. Really, really difficult time. Amazingly unpredictable. And you know, talking to some of my colleagues up in Durban, and my younger brother actually lives in Durban. You know, just hearing gunshots down the road, seeing crowds of people walking, not knowing what's going to happen. It was a completely terrifying experience. And then as a South African, I think, you know, it's something we should all be worried about. You know, and unfortunately, our society is very unequal. And that inequality,
that wealth gap. We say that wealth gap. It's got to be coming together. It's got to come together somehow.
Look, unfortunately, it does, and it's a very difficult thing. I don't know how we fix it over time. You know, unless we all individually put our hands into our pockets and make some sort of social compact, it's going to be very difficult to legislate our way out of that.
Well, I mean, you know, it's for me. I've got so much hope for the future for not only the country but particularly for the Eastern Cape as well, for PE, for Gqeberha. We're calling ourselves Bergies, by the way. This is the thing. It's a friend of mine that was on the show as well. He said, no, we call Gqeberha. We Bergies from Gqeberha. Okay. We're going to make that a thing. Okay, so the Bergies are...
I'm not sure I'm on board with that one, but okay.
And I just, this place is so beautiful. It's got so much potential. You know, there's so much. There's hope here.
You know, I agree. There's hope and there's potential. I think when you look at it, though, I think something I often say, and unfortunately, we sometimes have to deal with tough things in business. Sometimes there can be nothing as cruel as hope. You know, when that is the only thing going for you, you sometimes make some bad decisions.
Yes.
And then, and not to be negative, but I think it also reminds me so much of kids at school, things I heard when I was younger. You've got so much potential. Everybody kind of hears that.
Yes.
And this, I suppose that's a bad way of starting, but the reality is that potential is not, it means nothing if we make nothing of it.
You've got to get down and do it.
And we've got to do it together.
No, absolutely. I see that. I mean, there's always SPAR is always involved in a lot of projects as well, which I'm actually quite jealous, because you're in a position where you can choose and say, okay, we're going to do this project, the Wheelchair Wednesday, or the ladies run, you know, the gender-based violence, the stop plastic things. I mean, these are all things that you can really get involved in. You feel like you're doing something. You're making a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a privilege to be part of an organisation like SPAR. And I think what's really great about our business, which most of the audience, I suppose, wouldn't know, is how decentralised we are. So in the SPAR business, we are fortunate in that control is completely decentralised. And we run the Eastern Cape business completely independently, and we're allowed to make decisions locally that most other businesses aren't. So it's a privilege being able to get involved in things that are completely local, and really get involved as opposed to just putting money out there.
You see Stapes is in, I see Alan Stapleton there hiding in East Slumtown in case I get slated. Be kind to my boss, he says. Stapes.
Yeah, well, it's a great time to mention Stapes. I mean, Stapes in a lot of ways is the face of SPAR in the Eastern Cape, and he holds those sorts of events together, and you know, Stapes does such a sterling job for us. He does an amazing job, and he does that because he cares. And I think, am I allowed to swear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think one of the things I'll often say to my team, and I think this is what makes SPAR great, is that we only want people who give a shit.
Yes.
It's
true.
And you can see that, and it's not it's the devolution of power down from SPAR corporate into the Eastern Cape, and then the fact that our stores are privately owned makes sure that we are on the we're in the communities. It's not they're not decisions that are made at a distance.
The privately owned stuff. You see, I mean, the SPARs are owned by the people, by the owners.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's not saying much. I mean, that's semantically null. The SPAR is owned by the owners.
Sorry, I mean,
the owners are all
store.
local retailers, entrepreneurs. Yeah,
they are entrepreneurs, and this means that you're going to get Portuguese, Greek, and the guys that own the corner cafes, and the guys that are all in there, you know, and they're still family businesses. And I think that SPAR, I mean, I do a lot of stuff not only for SPAR, I do for the other retailers as well, but you know, the shows for them, and I think SPAR has definitely got that family feel to it. I don't know if it's a thing that you guys have done on purpose, and that it's a, you know, is it something that you do on purpose to make it a family?
I think a bit of both. So I think definitely as SPAR grew as a business, it was a family business originally. I mean, SPAR's got an interesting history, but it was the Browns retail group, and it was owned by a family, the Browns family in KZN. They subsequently sold to Tiger, and Tiger Brands owned SPAR until
I didn't know that as well.
Yeah, until Tiger the early 2000s. Wow. And somewhere around 2003, 2004 was spun off and we listed. And interestingly enough, I mean, I'm not sure whether Tiger regret this or not, but if you look at our market cap on the stock exchange, we are now the same size as Tiger.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It just shows that it was because they gave a shit. They actually wanted. I mean, they wanted this thing to do well, and they decided. And I believe that, I mean, the original exec was pretty much PE based.
Yeah. So I mean, SPAR's got SPAR as it is today, as much as it's Durban, a Durban-born company. Very strong influence within the group from Eastern Cape guys. So the original exec down here were largely PE-based guys. But if we look at our board today, so we've got two executive board members, our CEO, Brett Botten.
Brett Botten's ex-PE,
so he's an ex-Muir boy. And then Mark Godfrey, so our finance director.
FD,
Mark's a Dalian. So
from Dale. So it's actually Eastern Cape then. It's like King Williamstown.
Very much
that's
strong influence from the
Conte is the new King Williamstown. Conte. Conte. It's got two clicks in it. Well, a click and a sorry. But so Mark
I'm not going to try that.
And of course Conrad. Conrad was here as well.
Con, who preceded me in this position, is now he's the chairman of the board of our guild. So
explain the guild to me, because I'm a bit. SPAR's got this guild that also sort of runs things or something.
So the guild is a non-profit organisation that sits between the SPAR corporate and the SPAR owners. And the guild's role is really to regulate the relationship between all the members. So
Yes.
SPAR is very much so the easiest way of putting it is that okay, I'm not going to go down Saru, but it's basically like a sports club.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So not like Rassi.
yeah, we won't go down that route. So in a sense, the SPAR corporate would be something like the franchise owner, so the Stormers or Bulls, etc. And the store owners would essentially be the players who belong to the central body being
almost like a union, but not really a union.
Something like that.
So they can negotiate as a group.
Yes.
With
So I mean, SPAR's history was the concept of SPAR was Dutch, and SPAR actually means I forget the Dutch actual saying, but it's an acronym that makes up that makes up de SPAR, and it's something about dear. My Afrikaans is bad, so I'm not going to go down the Dutch route.
Zwijden benen voor de bus de afdelingen wezen.
Exactly.
Heel goed.
But essentially, what it means is through united cooperation, all will benefit. So SPAR was thought up in the days in Europe when chain supermarkets, big groups, started developing, and little corner supermarkets needed
buying power. I would imagine
buying power to
so
compete
it's like a almost these buying groups that you get as well.
Exactly.
You know, I've seen a few of them around, done some gigs for the guys, and basically it's an idea where you get a whole lot of similar shops and you form a group and then you buy it together so that you can get discounts and get your things. It's a great idea. So I presume it starts like that, and then
that is essentially what it remains today.
Okay. Wow.
So the SPAR corporate element is essentially just a big wholesaler. With a defined number of customers.
Okay, and the DCs is SPAR corporate then.
So
the distribution centers around the country, and the SPARs get from them, and they also buy from the other people. It's like a whole. It gets so complex, and it freaks me out a bit.
It is quite complex, but it's a simple idea. Where we buy on behalf of our retailers. So we run a business that is essentially a wholesaler. We sell onto our retailers, and we only have our retailers as customers. We don't sell to anybody other than someone who's got a SPAR brand above their door. Our store owners, however, aren't forced to buy product from us, so they can buy from whoever they want.
So they're not forced, but they like it. They like it if they do, I think. Wendy Tompkins is saying, is Graham Clausen still in the group? He moved from here to Durban many years ago.
Graham retired about 2 years ago.
Retired. Retired. He's still around, I think.
So Graham's still around, He's working for a company that does private label products for a number of big supermarket groups.
Oh, fantastic.
And he's doing some consulting work for them. But Graham retired as SPAR man.
Yes, absolutely. That is such a legend in SPAR as well as in PE actually, because whenever and Wendy's one of the you won't believe how many people say to me, Graham Clausen, I know Graham Clausen. It's just
and the scary thing is Graham stopped smoking. So you can imagine if you knew.
He's put on a bit of weight now.
No, he's looking very fit. Many a supplier was waiting for him to age and get out the picture is still trembling in their boots now.
All right.
He'll be around for 20 more years or so.
Well, where there's a bit of wine and a bit of a party, Graham is going to stay right till the end as well. That's fantastic. I love it. I should actually get Graham on the show at some stage. He'll be amazing to have.
I'm sure we can.
Organise that for sure. I think he'll be very interesting, and so many people.
He's lived a fascinating life.
He has, but so well loved as well. He clearly was good with his staff, good with the guys that worked.
I think Graham is one of those people who he hugs as hard as he kicks.
I like that indeed. What's your management style like? Are you a dictator? Are you autocratic? Or are you participative?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask about that.
Come on, Stapes. Give us the lowdown.
There are enough of the team on there for them to copy, or for them to comment.
Do you like to give? You like to sort of?
I think I like to let the team do what they need to do, and provide some guidelines. But generally let people get on. I really have a philosophy. I think nobody comes to work to mess around.
Yeah.
I think everybody comes with a full intention to give their all.
Yes.
And as long as you jump off from that space, it's the way to get the best out of people.
Yeah. If you see that behind everything, there's always a reason. If something's going wrong, there's usually a reason. If there's no reason, then they're out. They're out.
and look, we've got such a great culture and such great people. You know, so many of them in our business, where we've got a really good balance between people who've been out in industry and know the business. Outside of SPAR, and then a number of our guys have been around for 30 or 40 years. So we've got this great experience of guys who in the business who know it intimately, and some new faces who add a bit of zest.
Absolutely. And for me, it's a bit of a strange situation, because I feel like I'm almost part of the team.
Well,
because
you are.
I've done so many shows, so much entertainment over the years, you know. And I mean, you look at it, it's like 20 years at least. And,
I think we heading for 29. So
really,
So
that is insane. So it's
2023 will be 30.
Yeah.
That we've been in the Eastern Cape.
Wow. I mean,
and I mean, guys like Graham have really done an amazing thing for SPAR. So the story comes up often. Is at the time Tiger owned SPAR, and Peter Hughes, the old CEO of SPAR,
Peter Hughes,
came down to the Eastern Cape with, I'm not sure who the head of Tiger was at the moment, and said, look, we want to put a distribution centre in PE. And they looked around and said, there's no way you're going to take Checkers and Pick and Pay on. And apparently it was quite a struggle to get the CapEx out of the Tiger board to open the PE distribution centre. We opened in 1993. And within 15 years, we were the market leaders, and we remain the market leaders in the Eastern Cape. It's biggest supermarket group in the Eastern Cape.
I think it's got a lot to do with the community-based sort of ideology that SPAR, it really embraces it. You know, that whole family feel. Those are the shops. Those are the guys that own the place. They live in the area, and it filters out to the people.
Yeah. So I think. And that's definitely our biggest success is we've got some really, really great retailers, entrepreneurs. And as you say, I mean, they live in the communities they serve.
And they care. They give a shit.
They give a shit.
Again, from the bottom to the top, you know, they kind of really do. For you took over from Conrad, when was it? It was how many years ago now? 2 years ago. 2 years now. And I mean, has it an effect on you? Are you becoming sort of a workaholic? Do you know? I mean, these things it's always the buck stops with Angelo here in the Eastern Cape. You know, it's quite a hectic thing.
Look, I've been very fortunate. I think I've always been work oriented. If anything, I've probably slowed down a little bit. I think I've got a really, really strong team. And you know, my role right now is just to kind of coordinate all of that and make sure everybody's pushing in the same direction. And as I say, I've got this strong team, and my team at the moment we talk about it often. We really are in a good place, and that can change overnight. You know, but where we are right now, we kind of all get each other. We all pushing in the same direction.
You get on with the team,
and that makes my life easy. It really does.
You get on with your team, it helps a lot, and you can be honest with each other, and you can have your arguments, and you can have your things, but you need to.
Look, and I must say that's been one of our biggest successes, is that we do argue.
You have to,
and we've got a very, very diverse team.
Hey, Denzel there saying SPAR is in the people business, selling food. You're right.
Thanks, Den.
A gentle democratic dictator who dominates with silent kind of intelligence.
That's silent doesn't have two T's, eh?
Silent TT kind intelligence. Well, fantastic, Stapes. We enjoy your silent TTs. No, okay, good.
Thanks, Stapes.
Because you are a quieter person.
I am very much so.
But you don't. You can give it if you need
to. Thankfully, I hardly ever do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you get to a point. You get the murren. Do you ever get the Muren?
Very solid. Not very often.
You got a long fuse.
I do. But as I say, I think I really do have a core belief that no one comes with a bad intention. And as long as you're viewing things from that perspective, I think it helps. It's a good philosophy.
Yeah. It is, because then if you think like that, then you are always looking for a reason. If somebody doesn't act like they're supposed to or do what they're supposed to, there's a reason for it. So you look for the reason. Why is that? And then when you find that reason, you've often got an employee or a person that's thankful to you for finding it themselves, or for seeing it themselves.
Yeah, that's true. I think people are motivated for lots of different reasons, and it's not up to us to dictate why they're motivated. Some people, most people, I would venture, are motivated by making a better life for their families. And
of course.
And that's a great reason to be. But that's going to dictate how they make decisions at work and how they view things.
Absolutely. So it's got to be long term as well. Obviously, if you're working at a company, you've got to be happy working there. You bring that happiness home. It's like that's the way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. And okay, let's just go back into history now. Let's go back into history. Where were you born? Where you come from?
So I'm PE through and through.
Oh, really?
So I was born at Livingston.
At Sanford. Very nice. At Sanford Hospital.
So
when were you born?
1981. So I was 40 a couple of months ago.
So good, 40. Okay, happy birthday. It's a big one.
Thank you.
40 is a big one.
It is. It's the first one I've actually had to stop and think about.
Yeah, I know. It is one of those. Wait until you hit 50, you bastard. Wait for that one. That's a cock one, let me tell you.
Well, I've got 10 years. So,
I've got 10 years on me. So 81, it's a good year. And Sanford.
Good vintage.
Your folks, were they working here? Or,
So my folks are, my dad's from PE. He grew up in Galvindale. My mom.
Okay.
My mom is from Fort Beaufort.
Fort Beaufort.
Yeah.
Lovely. My father-in-law is from Fort Beaufort. We love them there,
So I got dragged there quite often as a kid.
Oh, lovely. Very nice little place.
Kicking and screaming. No, it wasn't my first choice, but I appreciate it now that I'm a bit older.
The Muldenalls are up there as well. Somebody tag Leanne Muldenall. She's up in there in Fort Beaufort. I'm going to come visit there soon. Is there a SPAR there as well?
There is. There's a big one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Greeks as well. Who owns that one?
George and Stelios, Georgia.
Okay, Stelios. That's a very good Greek name. How's it there to Fort Beaufort? It's from there as well.
So I grew up in the northern area. So my folks, I suppose when I was younger, I lived in Galvindale, though I don't have much recollection of that. And then when I got to primary school, my folks moved to Cleary Estate, which is near Cleary Park.
Just down from 30-something, where I used to
exactly,
I used to play there.
Dennis Hayes' spot.
There's it. I used to play there in the band.
So I grew up, in fact, I went to primary school near there in West End.
Okay.
30-somethings in West End.
Yes. Right next to you, right there.
Yeah, so I went to primary school there, went to high school, kind of split. Went to Pearson, and then my dad taught at Bethelsdorp, which is across the road from Cleary Park, and that's where I matriculated. So kind of split between the two. And then we
travelled around a bit there, going to all the different schools. It's cool.
And then went to Technicon, the old PE Tech. Studied Mech Eng.
Okay, mechanical engineering. Jeez,
not that I remember much of it.
What is that? Is that like it's not auto? It's
mostly automotive.
Is it more? It's automotive. Okay, good. So you could have gone into like production lines. You could have gone to work at GM.
In theory, yes, but I think every little boy grows up wanting to design cars. So that's what you figure.
For sure.
Except that when you're at high school, you kind of think designing cars means the way they look.
Yes.
You get to varsity and you realize, they teach me how an engine works. When are we getting to the part where I make something look like a Ferrari?
Beautiful, you want to make it look like a Ferrari.
When you get to third year, they sadly tell you, well, if that's what you wanted to do, you should have gone into design.
Art and design.
So I was a slow learner. It took me a while to realize this was not what I wanted to do.
Oh man, you know, I was just saying to my son today because he said to me, we were looking at one of the Suzuki. I don't know, it was the smallest Suzuki, and it's just, it looks so tall. Some of these cars, they look so tall, and they've got these little biscuit wheels.
I know, it looks like a half loaf of bread.
Yeah. And I'm like, he said, that car is so ugly, Dad. I said, well, how did they design it? Why did they design that car?
Then I'll tell you the story. So I've got a brother who's quite a bit younger than me.
Yeah.
He's 13 years younger than me.
Okay. So a little bit.
When he went to varsity, I bought him his first car.
Oh wow. Okay.
So took him looking for a car.
Lucky to have a brother like that. Yes.
So walking the lots to find a second-hand car.
Yes.
And you can imagine what he was going for.
Anything that's low slung.
Old BMW, or I want a Polo, and eventually, because he was really pushing on getting this Polo.
Yeah.
And at that time, I just heard the stats that the Polo is the most hijacked car in South Africa, and that particular stat made me decide. I bought him a little Hyundai Etios, which is exactly the sort of car
where you stick your hand out the window and you can close the boot.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's the least cool car in the world.
Yes,
and that was actually my thinking behind getting in that car. From that day on, I didn't have to worry about him getting hijacked. Nobody
hijacks that.
Yeah.
Nobody takes that shit. It's like, I just explained. I said, my boy, they And we're back. We always need to have promoting Bathurst again, Gino, with that pineapple. See my pineapple jacket.
Pineapple. Yeah.
They're getting it going. Yeah, and promoting Bathurst is the one. We're talking about Fort Beaufort and Bathurst and all sorts these days as well. All right, so we were talking about your history, and we were talking about you were Technicon and the designs of the cars. You should have. That's what you should have been.
I never got to that. Yeah,
you should have been designing Ferraris.
I wish I was. In fact, I was very much more a fan of the Lamborghini.
Oh, really?
The Ferrari at the time.
They're both Italian. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it.
I'm sure.
Oh man! And then the other thing I wanted to chat about. So after that, you were at Woolworths for a while as well.
I was. So while I was at varsity, in fact, while I was at high school, I worked at Edgar's as a shelf packer.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then
Edcon Group.
Edcon Group, yeah. And then moved to Woolies as a till operator. While I was sort of studying during the week, and then worked at Woolies on weekends. In my final year at varsity, I had a bit of spare time, so I worked more or less full time for Woolies. And I was lucky enough that they saw potential in me, and so in my final year, I'd moved into their cash office. And when I broke the news to my then manager that I was going to leave to do in-service training, Woolies, thankfully for me today, came back and said, look, if you want to join us as a management trainee, we'd be really great. It'd be great to have you. At the time, I thought, well, what the heck, I'm going to spend 2 or 3 years doing this. The money's much better than I would have made as an in-service trainee, and then I'll go back to engineering.
Yes. Okay. So you did it.
And I've never looked back. I've worked in retail ever since.
No, I mean, obviously you had a thing for it, and you enjoyed it, clearly.
Yeah, I do. I love retailing.
So
it's kind of the most basic industry. So
did you have Lynn Mandel saying, "Well done to you, Angelo. You've achieved a lot, and at 40, I'm sure you have many more achievements to come."
Hello, Lyle.
It's Lyle. Sorry, but Lynn. I was reading Lynn there quickly.
I haven't seen Lyle in so many years. It's really good to see you on the show.
Yes, he's saying hello. There we go. Yeah. We have a backup for a backup, says Philippa. Yes, we do. We have backup of backup of backup. We've got MTN, Vodacom, we got them all here, but they're all down at the moment. So we just hope it's gonna last. We don't know. Man, and so and from Woolies, then you were there. Then you got
so I spent a couple of years. It's a weird story. So one of my best mates at the time was working at SPAR. So him and I were at Woolies together. He had left to work for Woolies in Cape Town. And then was approached to join SPAR to head up development. So he moved down to PE, and the two of us flatted together for a couple of years. Still in our early 20s. Well, he was a bit older.
Lots of partying and times. Drinking and whatever else. Yes. We won't talk about that because your wife is listening as well.
My ex.
There we go. She heard too soon.
And then he was at Woolies at SPAR and asked me to apply for a position, which I did, and then left, and then joined.
And joined SPAR. And what did you join as?
I joined as a project manager. So I suppose at the time at Woolies, once I'd finished their training program, I became a finance manager. And I think given my vocation or my studies being engineering, I went into project management. So setting up SPAR stores.
Wow. Because that's interesting. And the buying, do SPAR often buy the actual property? Do they own the property as well? Sometimes
no. We
finance it.
So our properties are all privately owned landlords. Very often the store owner owns the property. But more often than not, it's just a private individual or listed company that owns the property. We often take the lease. As that provides security for the banks.
If it's rentals or
but then setting up. So we've got a team of designers and project managers who help store owners set up stores. So they project manage and design.
Yes, I've met a couple of those guys, and I was like, "What is this all about?" Because they were busy like scouting out venues and land to use.
So we've got a team of guys who look after new business for us. So go out and look at sites. And then a team of guys who design stores. So that's design the layout, the look and feel of the store. As you know, our stores all look different.
And I think that's an important thing as well when you're running a store to have it look new and nice and the setup is like, it's insane. It's such a science.
It is very much a scientific
gondola ends and it's like
I mean it's to the point where you're deciding whether plastic rice goes at eye level or one level below
Yes.
It is very much retail. It's very much
My
a side.
coffee, I've been doing my coffee. I've been checking where they're putting my coffee, you know.
Well, you definitely get a preferred spot.
You know, I think so.
in Waterfront.
Yes,
Spa.
yes, I do,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Howard, thanks you.
Howard.
Thanks, Howard. He's given me a nice little gondola end, I believe they called them.
That's
you know?
exactly what they call it.
Yes,
yeah.
that my mother used to say, I'm going to hit you on your gondola end if you don't listen to me.
Or where your mom comes from, a gondola is something completely different. So,
Clearly. Oh, no. So that, I mean, and it's amazing. I think it makes a difference, you know, where that thing is in
no,
the
it very
shop.
much does, yeah. So,
You know,
so
Amazing.
it does. It's the human mind is a very strange thing.
Yes, that's science. So
Yeah.
it's like the Facebook of retail. They're checking you out. They know where you're looking.
Yeah, given everything that's happening at Facebook, I'd rather go with like Twitter.
Okay,
Or-
Twitter.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
way that
yeah.
Twitter goes. Or like, what's the other one? That one irritates me. That TikTok or something. That's
TikTok.
Yeah, jeez, I can't do that. Just go there.
Giving away your age, Gino.
Levy Vale Spa, brilliant. Brian Wilkins, staff service.
Thank
and
you for that,
setup.
Brian.
Where's Levy Vale?
Levy Vale's in Utrecht.
In The Hague.
Yeah.
There we go, Brian. Brian, of course, is ex-Boardwalk food and beverage.
Okay.
He's for years and years, Brian was there. So he loves, and he's always on the show. Thanks, Brian. We love you.
Yeah. Thanks for the comment. I'll definitely pass it on to Don, who owns the store.
Daniel.
Don.
Don. Oh, the Don. Oh, lekker Don. Good one for you as well. But everyone's got this spa that they like to go. I've got a warmer spa here, Bernard. He's my man. He lives up the road here, you know.
Yeah, he does. Just a couple houses up.
5-6 houses up. Bernard, what a legend. And they also stock my coffee, which makes them even higher in my books.
You seem to have inside track.
Yeah, no, we got an inside track here. Let me tell you, Angela, I'm going to get my coffee everywhere. But the problem is to have the money to put into the stock.
And
That's the
stock,
problem.
yeah.
So if
I
anybody
feel
wants
your
to
pain.
donate, please donate to my coffee. I can invest. I'm going to list it on the JSE, which is the Jolly something energetic thing. Then you can put money into it, and then we're going to make coffee, and then we're going to sell it.
And pineapple beer.
And pineapple beer. Well, we'll see with tops how it goes. Oh man! And so, obviously, worked your way through SPAR. People love you. I know. You know, it's. I've never heard a bad word about Angela. I've got to be honest.
I don't believe that, but anyway.
I do no ways. I would be honest with you on Gino's spot because I know it's interesting when people think you're. You know, I'm not even going to say the word.
I suppose hopefully silence has the advantage.
Yes. The fact that you're quite quiet maybe does this, you know, and people enjoy it. So, I mean, and all the best for that, for the rest of your SPAR days, for sure. I'm sure it's going to go from street to street.
SPAR is just an amazing organisation,
Yeah,
and I think it's a great place to be in. And you know, I suppose someone like Conrad, having grown up in SPAR under Conrad, it's just.
Oh, please,
such
somebody
an
tag
amazing-
Conrad as well. He needs to be on here as
Such
well.
an amazing experience.
We do miss
You're never going to find Conrad on social media.
Oh, no, yes,
well,
you're
I'm
right.
sure
Maybe
we-
Faye, his wife.
I'm sure we can convince him to come on the show.
Yes, I'm gonna get him on the show at some stage as well, all the way from Durban there, and because he was also well loved here in PE.
He still is.
Yeah,
Still is.
yeah.
I mean, Con's very much a PE
Yeah.
convert.
Yes.
So having been born in Durban, and having been forced to go back there now,
Yes.
he still spends his weekends in PE. Yeah.
Yes, and I see Faye every now and again as well around. He's still got family and stuff here around. So it should be the GSE, not the JSE. You're right. The Gino Spot Extravaganza. That's what you can invest in. You can be the first one, Wendy. All right, so we're gonna get into the getting to know you questions now.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
All this.
These are all. No. There's no. He's looking at all the things here. There's not all of them. It won't be here all
not all of
night.
them. Okay,
there's also different things going on here on the screen. You know, don't worry about those things, Angela. These are getting to know you ones. Quick ones here. A topic that you could spend hours talking about.
World War II.
Really? I love it. I love it. And do you find that Facebook like gives you stuff because you or like Twitter or whatever?
I don't exist on Facebook.
No, you don't exist on Facebook.
But YouTube definitely.
YouTube does the same thing. It checks what you click on, and then a click gives you more.
Yeah.
So when you got World War II all over the place.
Yeah,
and they've
exactly
got that stuff now that the photos have been remastered.
Yeah, it's amazing how
incredible.
Yeah.
You just look at those photos and you think, oh my soul, here's a bunch of guys going into D-Day in the freaking what do you call landing craft, and you see the youth in there and those guys.
I mean it's something I'd never want to experience myself.
No, and we need to tell the youth about it and make sure that they know about this stuff.
And I mean that's the scary thing. I mean war's a young man's game.
Yeah.
So when you get my age, 40 now,
you
get to make all the decisions. It's 18, 19, 20-year-olds who have to go out and
do
those
it.
things. Yeah.
I know. They send them out to the slaughter.
It's such a sad part of human development.
War is so we should never have another war. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. And we need to keep it in our minds. What awful movie do you love?
Anything with Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn. Who's Vince Vaughn again?
Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers. Oh, Gary's saying, the Wedding Crashers. I don't. I've seen the Wedding Crashers.
I vacillate between. I was saying to you earlier. I mean, I vacillate completely between slapstick and and really cheap laughs and documentaries. I sit.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not interested in anything in between.
In between. Yeah. I love it. And just about cars. Are you into F1 and?
No, not particularly. I do like cars.
Okay. Do you watch any racing?
I follow F1, but at a distance. I think I used to follow it a lot more closely when I was younger. But
have you watched that? You must watch that Netflix thing because it'll get you back in.
Which one?
There's one. There's Formula One.
The Schumacher one.
No. There's a series with all the racing, the current races.
Okay.
You got to watch that because
I'll go check it out.
It goes through, and then you'll be watching Formula One every weekend again.
Look, Michael Schumacher killed Formula One for me. It just became so. Ferrari was just so far ahead of everyone else.
It was. I remember those days. It was boring.
Yeah.
And then Vettel sort of came through and started to fight him again. But the old days are the ones. I had the Scribantes on the show a little while ago, and they actually had a Formula One team. PE guys, Scribante, Concrete, They had a Formula One team.
That's amazing.
And they raced it in the 60s and 70s.
Shit.
McLaren's.
South Africa were quite influential in F1.
Jody Scheckter was
then,
there. It was actually David Charlton used to race for them.
Okay.
Dave Charlton. He used to race the Brabhams and the Lotuses, the McLarens. Amazing.
Look, I mean, the Scribantes have almost as a family kept PE in the motor racing industry.
They have. Incredible.
We have a special place in motor racing in South Africa, and that's because of them.
Yeah, for sure. And they've got the 2 Lambos now as well, by the way. We're gonna have. We'll show you. Can show you some pictures of those. Beautiful, and they're doing well. All right. What profession doesn't get enough credit or respect? What do you think? Difficult one.
Yeah, it is. I suppose I can go for a simple answer and go. The people who clean up around us.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, the plastic campaign has been a big thing with SPAR as well, isn't it? Was that Conrad's baby?
It was very much Conrad's baby.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, there's a fascinating backstory to that. I think. So Conrad did an executive management program at Harvard.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. And part of the course was going to Rwanda.
Okay.
And they did it. I think 2 weeks in Rwanda.
Yes.
The course was presented there, and Rwanda banned plastic bags. So
they've done amazing things in Rwanda. I've been hearing from so many people. Rwanda is like an amazing place.
The scary part of that is that there is a dictator. So, well, let's not call him dictator.
Right.
That might be bad for my health. But Conrad went there and was I suppose had an idea of what Rwanda would look like, having come from another African country.
Yes.
And I think he might have been one of 2 or 3 African students on this particular course.
Okay.
And obviously coming from the States, going to Rwanda, you would have had a very different experience.
Yes.
Con went there expecting to see it.
Third world, normal world,
And he says the thing that stood out there most was how clean Rwanda was.
Wow.
And not seeing plastic bags when he was there.
Yeah.
And he was lucky enough to meet Paul Kagame when he was there.
Okay.
And had a discussion about their banning plastic bags. So on the back of that, Con came back to the Eastern Cape with this passion to get rid of plastic. And I mean, he did an amazing.
I think if you've seen that result, if you've actually been there and you see what can be done with that decision, you speak to the guys, say this is what they did. You're like, why can't we do it here? Yeah, why can't we? And he's certainly made a big impact with this whole thing.
Yeah. And it has made a massissive impact in the Eastern Cape.
Yeah, and it certainly made me think about my bags, and I think if I do get a bag, I'm not going to throw it away.
Look,
recycle.
It really is a difficult topic, and it's one of those. It's one of those things that can be quite divisive. I think people have very strong opinions as to what is best for the future.
Well, it's like vaxxing and non-vaxxing.
It's a little bit like that. And lots of talk about how expensive things are, and then on the other hand that there are better alternatives, and there's lots that can be said about the topic. I think if anything, our stance, if it's developed what you've said, where it's made me stop and think about my impact, that then if we've made people stop and think about the impact of plastic on the environment, then I think we've done our job.
But also I think you just made a decision to do it. You're doing something. You're not just sitting, I can't do this because some people like it. And so you've made a call and you said, go. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing. So fantastic. I'm with it. I'm there.
Thanks, Gino.
The most uncomfortable place you've ever slept?
That's a difficult question.
What about when you were a student and you were room sharing with that?
There's some things I can't talk about. The most uncomfortable place I've ever slept, in the back of a Mini.
That'll be Andrew Freeborn's dream. My friend of mine who loves Minis who's been on the show as well.
Well, he hasn't seen how tall I am.
Oh right, that would be quite.
So it was
Did
quite
you have
a
a
challenge.
Mini? Do you actually own a Mini?
No, I was with friends of mine. And it was
small guy.
Yeah, it was freezing in the middle of winter up the west coast of.
What are you, 6'3" or something? 6'2"?
6'6".
6'6".
Yeah.
Good Lord. No wonder in a Mini.
And three of us in that. It wasn't a great experience.
I mean, you're not talking about the mini dress. You're talking about the mini car.
That's much more your.
Yes, that's my scene.
Yeah.
Okay, the most useful thing that you own. I like that.
The most useful thing that I own.
What's the thing that you really think? Wow, this was a bonus.
Do you know that's a weird question?
I know, but it's quite lekker. I quite like that because I'd say my solar panels. I'll talk to everybody about my solar panels.
Well, I mean, this is not rocket science at all, but I'm sure everyone who knows me, my cell phone.
Cell phone.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's like everything all in one.
Yeah, but it is a big distraction for me. So, so lots of people complain about that.
Get off your cell phone, Angela. I'm trying to talk to you. There we go. Your favorite way to waste time? Also,
waste time watching sitcoms.
Sitcoms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that is a waste of time.
Yeah. No, it is completely.
I will not lie. That's a waste of time.
It is completely. Yeah.
What do you think of tattoos, and do you have any?
I do have one tattoo.
Oh, really?
That I severely regret getting.
On your butt?
Very close.
Yes!
Very close.
What's it say?
No, it's one of those sad things, where I think I got it a day or two after turning 18.
Right, yes, of course.
Yeah.
I try to tell my son not to do that, but he doesn't.
And I tried to be very deep. And,
yes.
And at the time, it made a lot of sense, and you were very, very deep.
When you're 18, you can be very, very deep.
Yeah. And I don't. Yeah. I completely regret getting it now.
So what is it? Is it?
It's some tribal thing. I don't even want to go into it.
It's a tribal thing. Okay, like a tribal story. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to tell my son, like you're 20. don't go and get a whole lot of tattoos now that mean lots to you now, because like when you turn 40, it was Gary's asking you if your tattoo's at least spelled correctly.
Thankfully, it's a tribal symbol and not a.
Okay.
What I didn't do, which I probably should have, is verify that it actually meant what they say it meant.
All right. All right. Okay. I get it.
But I'm
That's all right.
I'm probably too scared to go and get that question on.
That's good. It's fine.
Probably says something like rice vinegar or.
Oh, right. So something like that. Yes. Water or something.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, if it was water, I could spin a story around that.
Okay, right. Yes. It's rice vinegar. Or it's like sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah.
Nice. It's nice that Angelo's got sweet and sour sauce tattooed on his ass. We'll go with that. What made you stay away from Facebook? And are you're not on social media then?
No, not particularly. I think I just got to the point where I didn't necessarily find it useful anymore.
Okay.
So I suppose like everybody, Facebook probably, I can't remember how long ago. It must have been 20 years ago. Yeah. I don't know how long Facebook's been around, but I joined with this
2007. 2006.
With this great intention, this is a really great thing. Get to connect with all these people you haven't spoken to for years, and which was great for a while, and then realized I'd lost contact with most of them for a reason.
Yes, that's a common thing when people say they're not on Facebook. It's like, I don't know if the people that I love and that I've got them already.
And then I think it's. I suppose
the job.
My issue with social media, not that I'm anti-social media at all, but I do think it becomes an echo chamber. And you were saying earlier, if you click on World War II, you only see things.
World War II.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I think I think if you spend too much time, you become a bit closed-minded because you only see the world from that perspective.
A lot of guys who are heads of companies and own their own businesses and don't go on as well because it's not dangerous, but you've got to be careful though what you do because you can.
Look, I think obviously as somebody who's if you have a level of prominence, there is some danger, particularly if you're choosing to voice opinions, and if your business is in the public space, that's a dangerous thing to do. Certainly, there's that, but I think for anybody, there are dangers to social media.
It is.
I think I've got a 3-year-old daughter, and the world she's going to grow up in, nothing gets forgotten. Once it's on the internet, it's there.
It's true. It's just there already.
And to sensitize kids to live in that world, the sort of mistakes you make as a teenager, even in your early 20s,
of course.
To live in a place where none of those things are going to get forgotten is quite a scary thing.
It's always there. It's always there. You're right. All those stupid things that I did. I'm glad there was no bloody social media when I was younger. Oh man, who's had the biggest impact on the person that you become? So it could be about mentors or people that you grew up with.
One single person.
No, it can be a number of people. Could be me. Could be anyone.
Yeah, I think. I've lived in a very matriarchal style. So I would say
your mom,
my mom and my grannies.
Okay, grannies can be tough.
Yeah. So both grannies and my mom very strongly Catholic.
Good. I'm also Catholic,
Well, you're Italian.
Exactly. Well, Angelo, please, Angelo, you talk also Italian and I am.
Sometimes.
Sant'Angelo.
Except when you put me next to actual Italians and they're like...
Yes, I know.
They're the tallest
6'6" and we're normally 5 foot something.
Yeah. So my grannies and my mom, I'd probably say the strongest influences, and then in my professional life, I've been very fortunate to have met some really, really great people. Conrad definitely comes to mind. I think he's a very special, very wise man. Graham O'Connor, who was the SPAR CEO prior to Brett.
He was also a PE chaperone?
No. Graham's very much at Urban.
Okay, Durban. Was he
Durban guy? But Graham's got some really amazing leadership qualities. A friend of mine, Gareth Saunders, was a big influence on me.
So yeah, friends from when you were growing up, or working with you, Gareth Swartz?
From working.
Oh, from work as well. Yeah. Just guiding you, I suppose.
Yeah.
Being that guy that the approachable person that you can always hit with a question that it's not going to judge.
Something like that. Yeah.
You need that guy.
Yeah. So now I've been very fortunate. I think SPAR's got lots of legends, lots of people.
They have got a lot of people that and they've gone on. I mean, it's the amount of PE bunch that have spread themselves around the country is quite amazing.
Yeah, it is. We've been there's something special about the water in the Eastern Cape. Our guys have gone on to lead divisions, and so Martin Webber's is
Martin Webber, of course. Liesel's on Facebook. I think Martin's not on Facebook. I don't think as well.
That's probably right.
Stephen Schaefer down
built it in the Western Cape. Shifty, Mike de St. Pern.
Mike de St. Pern,
director up in our South Rand division. So we've definitely exported talent. And actually, weird enough, I found that too in Woolies as well.
Is it really?
Number of Woolies people.
Wow, from PE side.
Based, yeah.
Okay, Brett
wasn't. Brett spent SPAR. Weirdly enough, Brett worked at Hella before. Yeah, Brett was PE.
Okay, so but I mean he's also moved up to Durban.
So he's in Durban now. Yeah.
And Brett, I know he's got a place in St. Francis there. See him every
he does. He was down this weekend actually.
Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, lovely. You got to take advantage of the weather, the bastard. Yeah. There we go. Do you enjoy cooking?
I do enjoy cooking. I don't do it often enough, but I love cooking. Yeah,
I like it. But a master chef moves.
Nothing like that.
Nothing that good. What's your favorite?
Some very simple meat and veg. Really,
I like a bit of pap and vleis.
Pap and vleis, something like that.
What's your favorite meal? What's your favorite
one? It's actually very boring. I love just plain fried lamb chops.
Fried lamb chops,
my favorite.
That's a bit boring, eh?
Yeah, it is boring.
I'm a bit disappointed in that one. I thought it would been more like a pasta or something.
I actually don't eat pasta.
You don't eat pasta?
No.
What kind of a Catholic are you?
Well, if you've ever been to Italy, you'll know that the pasta is very much overrated.
Yes. No, it's beautiful.
And when you get to Italy, it's a very regional thing. Not all Italians.
What about a lamb chop pasta? What about that?
No, I don't.
How about
I don't touch pasta.
Even a lamb chops one?
No.
No. What do you do for fun? Gary wants to know. I'll see this.
So I try to spend as much time as I can reading. It's one of my favorite pastimes, although I don't do that too often at the moment. I run a bit.
You run as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
My poor knees.
Oh yeah, it's always the knees.
Yeah, always the knees.
6'6", it's a lot of stuff to carry as well.
Yeah. And then I suppose my favourite pastime is football. So I'm a big.
What do you support? Manchester?
No, Chelsea.
Chelsea. Then my son will be very pleased. He's a Chelsea supporter. He loves it. He's watching all the games. I'm never really. I enjoyed it. Played a bit of soccer at school. Liked it.
Well, Italian, yeah.
With Italian, I support Italy in the World Cup, of course. And now Bafana, I believe we qualified.
I don't know. We were playing tonight, aren't we?
I know. I think we might have qualified already.
No, we've won our first couple of games.
Okay.
And we drew against Zimbabwe of all things. And then I think we play tonight. We play Ethiopia tonight.
Okay.
I think we might qualify tonight.
Okay. Well, if anybody knows, please let us know in the comments if we qualified for the World Cup. That'll be
actually the first game with spectators back. So there are 2,000 spectators tonight.
Nice. Okay. 2,000.
In FNB Stadium, there might not be.
That's not going to be. That's not fill up FNB Stadium. Oh no. So, what job would you be terrible at?
Anything that needs organisation.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'd be a terrible secretary.
You're not an ADD person, are you?
No, not at all.
Not at all. You're quite focused, but you just don't like that side of it.
Yeah, terrible at it's.
You like the strategy side.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's like the planning and doing something that that's just going to be, we'll try this, try that, but then
so I'm not
you take the notes and you do it.
Yeah, I'm not the person who puts the action plan together and decides who does what when.
Okay.
I'm great with the ideas.
There's Tobeka. She's got that stuff.
She's the one that's actually in charge.
Yeah,
as she tells people.
The PAs are so, often so good. I mean, I think Brett Muzzle, who was in SPAR as well. His mom,
he still is actually.
His mom was also a PA to I think Phil Gucci for a while, and she was so sharp, man. She was just so sharp. That kind of PA, you need that. You need that. Laura Dorothy, Laura.
Yeah, Laura is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, and Laura and Topeka will both tell you that the last thing you want me to do is managing a diary. I'm quite fine sort of sticking to it, but don't let me be the one in charge of putting it together.
You're not just been told, okay, go there. That's the vibe. Lekker. What question would you most like to know the answer to? Is there a question that you would, you like history, I suppose. I don't know.
What question would I most like to know the answer to?
Yeah, so you could ask any question.
Like who shot JFK?
Yeah, that would be a good one. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. If there's a historical question.
Honestly, I think I would, and this is not, I don't want to come across as falsely deep because that's not the intention, but I'd really like to know who God is. I think it would sort a whole bunch of stuff.
Sure,
down,
just do it. Give us the proof.
Yeah, so people can stop
Give us the story.
People can stop fighting about crap.
Yeah. Let's check who's got it. Or everybody, this is what it is now. Yeah, check this. Like there'll be some sort of Oh my word. The most annoying question that people ask you regularly.
How tall are you?
Oh really?
Yeah.
6'6", baby. It's classic. Oh no. Okay, I love this one. The first album you ever bought.
The first album I ever bought. Alanis Morissette.
Jagged Little Pill.
Jagged Little Pill.
It's not fair to deny me. Oh, the cross-eyed bear. It was the cross-eyed. What's the one? The cross-eyed teddy bear. Yeah, the cross-eyed bear. Oh man. And what's the go-to band or artist when you haven't got anything to listen to?
I vacillate quite a bit. At the moment, I'm listening to somebody called Kina Granis.
Okay.
If you've heard of her.
Never.
So
I'll have to have a listen.
So she does mainly covers.
Okay.
But they're sort of all over the place. Really good. If you said to me, the band I listen to most consistently, Counting Crows.
Counting Crows.
Yeah.
My word, I wouldn't have pegged that for Angelo. That's nice. I'd like Counting Crows. I do. There's probably 90s vibe. So you're a 90s boy, eh?
Yeah. Well, that's
It would have been teenager.
Yeah,
that's the one. Jose Pereira says 81 minutes. South Africa 1, Ethiopia 0. Yes, we're gonna make it. Go Bafana. There we go. Sam Fenter says yes. Phil Gucci's PA, Beth Muzzle, formidable woman, R.I.P. And it was probably the only woman ever to control Mr. G. You're right. And you need these strong people. You almost say woman PAs, but PAs that person with a focus that can actually pull it all together as well.
Look, the world needs more strong people.
Yeah, it does. Strongest. It is true. All right. Your biggest weakness.
My biggest weakness.
Yeah.
I think I can procrastinate.
Hey, procrastinator.
Yeah.
But we're like, it's fine. We can do it tomorrow. Lastminute.com. Is that your vibes?
Not exactly that.
You can't be
something like that. Yeah.
If you weren't forced to, yes, it would be.
I vacillate. Big decisions I can often make very quickly.
Okay.
Sometimes the little things I leave too long.
Yeah. It's not that important, so we'll leave it till tomorrow. Which I'm sure makes Topeka very happy.
There are lots of guys. Lots of SPAR guys listening who've had to pick up the pieces when I've forgotten to do something.
Well, that's why you've got the team there in the end. Yeah. And you have regular meetings, so you stay on top of it. That's the way to do it, absolutely. All right, it's the time. I think it is time for our either-ors, and these are our rapid-fire questions for the end. Gary wants one more question here. What's the biggest risk you've ever taken? Sure.
I'm not a big risk taker.
Is it not?
To be honest, I think probably having a kid.
Oh yeah. How old is your child now?
Sophia is
Sophia
3.5. Yeah.
A girl, 3.5.
Yeah.
My word, that is quite hectic. It's still a long way to go. But
Yeah,
the girls, the daughters, I wish I had a daughter as well. You know, they get attached to their
Look,
dads.
I don't think I could be. I don't think I would have been a great father to a boy.
You don't think? You never know until you're there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think once I'd found out, that I was going to have a child,
yes,
I always knew that I knew that it had to be a daughter.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
was very
Just
much.
had to be. You thought that. Here's Duncan Brown saying, "How's it?" The best MD ever. Duncan Brown. Duncan did something with his SPAR. He had that banana thing, or the apple a day, or what was
Yes,
that?
Duncan does so many things. I mean,
He did.
Duncan
That was
does
amazing, Duncan. Where you gave each child
a banana.
they could take free bananas.
Yeah. So
when they came in the shop.
But Duncan's done so many other amazing things in that store. I think the way he supports the community at the moment is just phenomenal. So supporting small businesses around him during lockdown, when the restaurants were trading on limited hours.
Yes.
Duncan closed his deli and allowed a restaurant every day to use his deli as their outlet.
Wow, that is amazing. That is, and it's taken straight out of your profits. That is, that really is giving. Gary's putting questions on here.
Okay,
can you see them going here? Given that you're risk averse, what's the most adventurous thing you've done?
I would say I am risk averse.
Yeah.
But I am adventurous. So
like it.
you know, I'm the sort of person that I'll get in the car in the morning.
Physically adventurous.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll get in the car in the morning and decide I'm going somewhere and be gone for the weekend.
So you just decide and you just go. Spontaneous.
Spontaneous, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think what was the most.
Never jumped out of an airplane or anything like that.
No. I have no need to test my mortality. I'm quite convinced I can die. So no, nothing like that.
Okay. But you're traveling and stuff like that. You can make a decision and go.
Yeah.
Go and phone them to phone in. Listen, I'm already at Kalahari. I'm not coming into work today.
It's happened to be on more than one occasion that I've gotten to somewhere and not known where I was staying that evening. Figured it out.
My wife would not like that, let me tell you what. Philippa would be like, no way, Jose. We got to know exactly where we're sleeping and where the toilet is and what it looks like.
Yeah.
And Linridge so appreciates SPAR employees who, even after the longest days, still manage to smile and remain courteous. He's so right.
That's so awesome. And I think, it's retail employees are often it's easy to pick on them, but they.
Looking okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is Telkom. It just goes down a little bit every now and again. It's got the speeds. The speeds aren't that great. All right. So as we're getting now to the wood, the either ors. It's the either ors. They're quick questions, but they're very telling as well. Like cats or dogs. Dogs. They like that. Not cats.
No, dogs are loyal. I think
They are.
Cats, I like cats too because they take care of themselves. But dogs,
Yes, cats won't forgive you for your
cats don't really give a shit.
They don't give a shit about you. No. They're not very forgiving. Whereas dogs are quite. Save or spend? Save. Are you a bit of a save? Bit miserly, eh? Don't ask Angelo for a couple of bucks. I'm saving in my bank account. No, I'm the same. I don't spend a lot of money. Love or money?
Love.
Love. Money or fame? That's
Money.
That's two bads. Yes, rather than, you don't want want that attention. Oh, I get that. I see what you mean. The underlying thing here is that he doesn't really want to be here.
Gino, that wasn't underlying. I said that quite explicitly.
Straight out. Yeah. Okay, 80s and before or 90s onwards? Oh, no.
80s and before.
Hey? Oh, really? You like 80s and before? I like that. I would have thought like Counting Crows and stuff.
No, well, you asked what I listen to most.
Okay. Yes, but what you would love, what you would enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of the music I listen to, Counting Crows is kind of the go-to.
Yeah.
But majority of music I listen to is 60s and 70s rock.
Okay, oh, nice.
So, yeah, Beatles.
Bit of Beatles.
A bit of Stones.
Like the Stones and the Beatles.
Yeah.
Okay, Bowie too. Good. Pop music, rock, hip hop, or R&B music?
None
of those.
No, folk.
Folk.
Yeah.
Oh, you like the folk?
Well, Counting Crows.
And also Mumford and Son and that stuff as well.
No, that's a bit poppy actually.
But pop for you.
It's
Like when you're talking folk, you're talking about Dylan and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So
like Donovan, Cat Stevens.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Was it?
Leonard Cohen, definitely.
What's that guy?
Velvet Underground, which is Lou Reed, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
A mansion in the suburbs or a cabin in the mountains?
Suburbs.
A mansion in the suburbs. I like the way it's a mansion in the suburbs. That's got a bad connotation.
No, look, I'm very much a city guy.
Okay, city guy.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't want to be out in the mountains. Okay, alone or in a crowd?
Alone.
Of course, it's going to be forgiveness or vengeance.
Forgiveness.
Oh no, I figured that out. Small family or large family?
Small.
Well, you got small family. Here we go. Talking or listening?
Listening.
Hip hop or do you have hip hop or rock already? iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone.
Oh, iPhone! It's one of those eyes. Oh no, seriously.
Sam, do you have a Samsung?
I do have a Samsung.
iPhone's just
Android.
work. And I don't feel the need to tinker.
Oh, I've automated my whole house, and I can't do that with bloody Apple. Well,
You could.
kind of.
You could.
But you have to spend twice as much money on it.
But it will last forever.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll leave you with that one. All right, the final would you rathers. All right, would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life or toothpaste for the rest of your life? Go without.
Shampoo.
So you'd rather just do the teeth. Let that hair's all right. Full of lice.
You could use soap. So
I suppose.
The alternative.
If there wasn't any soap, it does same diffs. You wash it with toothpaste.
You could.
It
might be painful.
Might be a bit hectic. It might be a bit
expensive.
Would you rather be without elbows or without knees?
Elbows.
So you just have like straight. But then you can't eat like that. You'd have to get someone to help you eat.
Do you know there are ways around everything?
Fair enough. Woo, you're obviously very talented with some other features of your body. Let's see how that goes. I don't know how I can pick up a spoon with that. Let's see.
It's not the picking up that's the problem. It's getting to that.
Yeah,
but if you've got loving people around you, you could all help.
You could always help one another. You're right. You'll have to have a feeder. Who's going to do that? We'll have to find somebody. Your daughter's, when she gets a little older, she can just feed.
Well, she does that now anyway.
Okay. There's a train coming. Okay. Would you rather lose all of the money you've earned this year or lose all of the memories you've gained this year? So all of your money this year or all of your memories?
This year?
Yeah.
Money.
You'd just lose the money, but you'd keep the memories. Oh. It was a tough call. It took a while. Like Gary said, it did take a while to decide that.
It's been a difficult year.
Okay. Would you like to be the person who flips the switch during execution or be the judge who decides who should be executed? That's a Gary question. So you don't decide.
The guy who flips the switch.
Yeah, you'd rather be that guy. It's not my fault. Sorry.
Look, the way they used to do it in the old days was probably the best.
You reckon?
So the firing squad.
Oh, firing squad.
So
better than electrocution.
Well, I mean, you know how they did it. So they'd have 6 guys.
Yeah. Oh, then they each have one.
No, and only one of them have live rounds in
bullet.
it. So none of them know whether they were the actual one killing them.
Yes. So, but I mean, the oak's got to know, like, the oak that misses. You know, that he aims, miss, and then the guy's still alive. They know exactly who.
Yeah.
Then next round, he's there behind the firing squad. Oh my word. Okay. Would you rather win 100,000 Rand for yourself, or have your best friend win 1 million Rand, but they can't share it with you?
Friend.
You're a friend.
Yeah.
You're never going to see that money. He's going to be rich. He's probably going to immigrate. And then he'll just leave you.
$1 million is not going to go very far. If he's going to try and edit.
Fair enough. Yeah, we're going to have to fix that question. We're going to have to make it 20 million.
No.
All right. Last question before we've got one final question. But would you rather see blurry all the time or see black and white all the time?
Black and white.
You reckon?
Yeah.
At least to be focused.
Yeah.
Gotta be like grey. What colour is that? I don't know. Why are you going through those robots? Oh, I don't know. It's all the same to me. Actually, both my boys are colourblind, so they can't see. Yeah, they can't.
Oh, there's a
see
trick,
reds and
eh?
greens.
There's a trick to this.
Is it? What's it? What's it?
Well, the green robot's the one on the top.
Oh, fair
Or
enough.
the red robot's
No, they know. I think they know the
yeah.
green and the red robots, but I'm gonna have to just check with them. I'll have to tell them the first time. Okay, Angelo. Now, the final question that we always ask our guest is your proudest moment. One, other than the birth of your child. We're not allowed that one. We're not allowed that one.
Easy one.
Yeah, not allowed that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So your proudest moment, other than the birth of your child, and the other one is where something's gone completely wrong. Or your most embarrassing moment. Yeah.
Okay, so I think my proudest moment is it's 3 really.
Yeah.
They're kind of the same thing, but seeing my siblings and my mom get their degrees.
Wow.
Was probably so.
Yeah.
So.
That's amazing. And you know, Philippa, my wife, has just got a doctorate.
Yeah, you said so.
Today. Literally, she got a thesis back today, and she's awesome. Over the moon. We're going to have to celebrate for Dr. Fabry. You know, at least there's a Dr. Fabry in the house.
What is it in? Because
she's Dr. Philosophy, but of education.
So
she's education.
So it's professor actually.
It's a professorship.
It's completely useless.
Yeah, Gary says it's useless. That's only because his wife's not a doctor yet. You see, so I'm winning.
The irony of it is, doctors don't have doctorates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So doctors only have a master's degree.
Yes.
But we call them doctors.
Yes.
It's a strange thing.
Yeah, it's true. So she'll have to be a professor. I'll call her Professor Fabry. Prof Fabry. and then something when something's gone completely wrong. If it's been a function or something where you've had to do something and it's like, oh my God.
Having a daughter.
It's like
it was completely unplanned.
Unplanned.
Yes.
You know, and isn't it amazing having a child where all of a sudden your life is all about you, and then you have this child and then your life just goes whoop, and it's not about you anymore, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes is Obama.
Yeah.
On a show like this, actually,
yes.
he was talking to Letterman. I don't know if
you've
ever seen
Letterman.
He's got a new one on Netflix called.
Oh yes, so the bearded one. Yes.
My next guest needs no introduction. So the first show is Obama. I asked him about being a parent, and his response was, "Being a parent is like wearing your heart outside of your body."
Yes. It is. Yeah, and all of a sudden, it's just your life is not about you anymore. It's amazing, and it teaches you a lesson.
It does. Humility, definitely.
But Angelo Swartz, thank you so much for coming on. It's been fantastic, and I know we've done an hour and 40 minutes. It looks like we're going. You would never believe it.
I would never believe it. But I was completely in your hands. So.
Oh, fantastic, and thank you so much for your time. It's been amazing. We got the competition now. I'm going to go to my thing. So you can go off screen. Thank you so much. And we're going to go do the competition. It's our Fitch and Leads competition where I play a song for you and you tell me what it is in the comments. Tell me what the song is and the artist, and you can win a whole case of Fitch and Leads all for yourself. So let's get over to the drum cam. Let's do it. All right. And Gary's going to put it on for you. The first one to get it will win the Fitch and Leads, and we'll get it to you as soon as possible. Let's do it. All right, Camilla, we'll get that to you, absolutely. Thank you very much for joining us on Gino's Spot tonight. It's been fantastic. Angelo, thank you so much. And thank you to our sponsors, of course, SPAR and Fitch and Leads and our Amobio, which is our internet. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brett Muzzy. Lovely to see you on as well, buddy. And I see Richard as well, also guessing, but we only have one winner and it comes in. Woohoo! Camilla Ellis was the one. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us, and we'll see you on Thursday. Indeed, we have Donovan. We have Donovan who's opening the new tuppers. We're going to find out from Dog what he's doing and find out about the new tuppers that's opening. All right. See you on Thursday night. That's Thursday for the Saturday show. Indeed, we'll pre-record it and we'll be live on Thursday. All right. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe and click on the bell. Do it.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Have a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle.